the Brooklyn Bridge tonight. Voices strong, knowledge tight. Thorough black talk in the air. Changing minds, changing flair. From Brother Tad to Sister K, warriors got things to say. Sister Marcia brings the heat. Brother Blacksmith keeps the beat. Revolutionary waves they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral line. Thursday nights, the world will see Black Power Media on the screen. Facebook, YouTube, all aligned, breaking free from every bind. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral line. Ancestral line.
Tonight, we got dreams and we got fight. Voices loud in the city's light. Change is coming into sight. History told by scars and pain. Echoes deep in every name. Legal truths we must reclaim. Through the storm and through the rain. Thorough black talk review. With Brother Tad, Sister K. Sister Marcia, Brother Blacksmith. Cut the check on no vote, yeah. Justice calls from open skies. Tears that fall, ain't no disguise. Marching forward, no surprise. Strength in hearts you can't downsize. Every voice a sweet refrain. In this fight we share the strain. Through the joy and through the pain. Bound together like a chain. Thorough black talk review. Brother Tad, Sister K, Sister Marcia, Brother Blacksmith. Cut the check on no vote, yeah.
Good evening, good evening, good evening, family. Welcome to another edition of Thorough Black Talk with Sister Keisha, Brother Tad, Sister Marcia, and Brother Blacksmith will be joining us shortly. We got a great program tonight, family. We're going to get into it. Kendrick Lamar halftime show. We got to touch on it. Me and Tad have been doing a 1-2 behind the scenes, so get ready for that. Then we're going to continue our discussion on Black history, some key points and information that you may or may not have known, and connect some dots. Like, you know, Let me get my brother up here. You ready, Tad?
Thank you very much. Holy applause. Thank you very much. What else, sis? Peace
the OG Wisdom Podcast is in the building with us tonight, family. Let's get it. Sunday was good.
Yeah, I was enjoying that. 50 Cent is crazy.
Very much so. Very much so. But like I was, commenting in the chats, a lot of the antics is giving me police vibes. A lot of antics on both sides. You know, it's real snitchy like, if you will.
Yeah,
So,
very peculiar, very peculiar.
of course.
And that's what OG wisdom is about. It's like, with hip hop being the culture, with us being Gen Xers, right? Me, you, the guys we talk about, we're from a different era and we know the rules of engagement, and dudes are acting in opposite to what we know to be true and right. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's bragging about who the real is, who moved the most bricks and bodies and stuff. And that's why I like what Supreme McGriff said, man. Come on, we don't beef over mics. And I'm from the era, like, if you got an issue with somebody, you don't broadcast that. Why? Because when you catch them, you got to do it. But if you're telling everybody you're gonna do something, you the number one suspect when it happens. So that leads to your immediate indictment. So stop talking about what you're gonna do to somebody. Just be like, all right, no, I heard him. It's nothing. Play the sucker. 48 laws of power. Say you gotta play the sucker to catch a sucker. You know? I can't hear you, sis.
I was never one to engage in gossip and rhetoric. Like, you can go back to Fort Greene and you ask people, was I a gossiper? I would never threw dirt on people's names, none of that stuff.
Right.
Because I know that damages your integrity.
Yes.
Right? So, depending on, the situations that can occur out of heated arguments or now these online debates, if you will, can lead to consequences that you may not be thinking about. A lot of times our people, because they have lots of money, that they are untouchable.
Right.
But all of you will get your wake-up call. Just look at those who came before you. Yeah. So they will let you play out here all day long until they're ready to pull your card. And when they pull that card, you're going to have to deal with it, period.
Shout out to P. Diddy.
Facts.
Shout out to P. Diddy. Shout out to Suge Knight.
Facts.
Shout out to Dame Dash, R. Kelly. Everybody who at one point thought their money was a shield from the shenanigans, you get a wake-up call. And even if it ain't by the powers that be in this land, the creator and the ancestors have a way of humbling people.
Absolutely, Brother Tad. Absolutely. So, family, don't get caught up in the antics. Get you a little laugh out of it if you want to and move on. But don't spend your time, because I see some people in the comments like it's a waste of time. Personally, I believe so. But let me get Brother Anunnaki, the Bronx finest, in the building. Brother Black, let's go.
Peace to the gods and earth. Thank you, Tad. Thank you, Sister Keisha. Peace to the gods and earth. Peace to all those listening. Peace to the panel. And peace to those listening in the future. Let's get it on. I'll let you get it back, sis.
Yes, indeed. Like I said, we have so much to discuss. But, I missed it last week. I'm going to blame Brother Tad, Sister Marcia, and Brother Black, because they didn't remind me. So why should I take the heat by myself? You understand what I'm saying?
What did we forget?
You forgot to remind me to tell our viewers how to change their voter registration.
Right.
Getting ready
for the. You told us that. You told us about that about a month ago.
Yeah, but I was supposed to give the info last week and I did not. I forgot.
Right. To show how to do it.
Yeah. Tad, she blamed us, but now she's saying she forgot.
No,
we forgot to remind her.
It's the Bronx. They don't pay attention. So, family, you can go to vote.org or vote.gov. Both will give you the same results. And on the main page, or if you won't feel like scrolling, you can just type in the search bar, change your party affiliation. And it will prompt you to this screen. Right there in the middle, it gives you the link where you can go and change your party affiliation. And I'm telling you, It takes less than 2 minutes. Okay. You pull up the state, then they're going to pull up, you're going to put in your zip code or whatever district, county you live in, and they will allow you to change your party affiliation. Now, what you want to do, because there are different parties, you want to re-register as a non-party affiliate independent. That's a non-party affiliate independent. Now, depending on where you live and your municipality, you may be hindered from voting in primary elections, which is great, because primary elections give them the numbers of who they should put into office, right? Who should be the lead on the ticket. And we don't want that. We don't want them to use us anymore for their benefit, and we ain't getting nothing out of it, right? So let them figure it out through the primaries. In the general election, you can vote for whomever you want to. What is also good about this option, in various municipalities, like here in New York, as a non-party affiliate independent, you can run a campaign as an independent on either party. You don't have to go through, let me correct that. What you can do is run a campaign and have your constituents or people around you write you in as a candidate. You can do write-in candidacy. You don't have to go through the whole hoopla. You don't have to worry about party affiliations and being accepted and all of that shenanigans. If everybody in East New York, Brooklyn, say that Keisha should be the state assembly, they have a right to write my name in. And if I have the numbers, then I steal the nomination from the party. Because that's the ultimate goal, what we want to do here. We want to steal nominations from these local municipalities so we can take them over. You don't want to be like, the city girl mayor down there in Illinois. No, we want to take over municipalities that we can, so that we can directly impact our lives immediately. The local offices, you have access to land grab. You have access to land trusts. You have access to community board. You have access to deny business. You have the ability to invite business. So say, for example, that here in East New York, we have several Planet Fitness gyms, right? Now, let's say I am now your congressperson. You have voted out Hakeem Jeffries and put me in his place.
Yeah.
I can then remove or not allow the license to continue for Planet Fitness in this area, and then put in a replacement, because you have to give a replacement if you pull something out with the community board. I can then go before the board and say, we don't want Planet Fitness in here. We want Better Days Ahead Fitness.
That's right.
Right? And we will not allow any of our tax dollars to be used by Planet Fitness anymore. We prefer Better Days Ahead Fitness. So taking over these local offices is key. And I want you to understand that it can be done very, very easily with write-ins. You don't even have to go through that. So each week, we're going to try to discuss a little bit more of this process so that you can become familiar with it. So by the time the spring comes, everybody's outside, free the Black Vote movement. You already know what time it is. All right. So let's remove that. Now, another thing that we talked about is teaching you how to save money with Amazon Prime account. Right? We talked about that, and I didn't mention it last week. Well, I just want you to know that Amazon owns a lot of subsidiaries. And just about all of those subsidiaries, you can log in with your Prime membership and gain many perks, including free shipping For example, let me see if I can share this screen. This is one of their closeout sites. Here we go. Woot.com. Right? No, some folks ain't never heard of Woot.com. Right? But it tells you right there on the front, log in with Amazon. You always want to do that because you want free shipping just like you do on Amazon. Right? But the thing about this particular site, it is grouped based. So unlike Amazon, you can put in a particular category and go through it. Here they are grouped. So if you want to look for a computer, for an example, you have to go up here to computers, and then it'll ask you if you want desktops or laptops or whatever. I guarantee you, you're going to find deals. The Mac I'm using right now cost me less than $240. Okay? So many things.
It's brand new or used?
Some are brand new. Others are, hold on, I gotta mute you, Black, because we can't be open at the same time. Others are computers and software that are used in Apple Store or Best Buy. You know, when you go in the store and they have them out there on display for you, those are the ones that you find here on Woot.com. Now, you can find tablets like you see here for as low as $44. All right, you can get rings for like $20. So shoes, I just saw an ad for Kohan shoes, brothers. Y'all like Kohan shoes?
Yes,
starting at $34. So again, these are the categories up here. You click sign in with your Prime so you get free membership. Now, also with Woot.com, they have what you call mystery bag, right? A mystery bag will cost you $5. The thing is, you don't know what's in that mystery bag, right? I like to buy mystery bags when I'm doing community giveaways and things like that. I like to use it. One time I ordered a mystery bag and I got 12 cases of men's deodorant. So you never know what you're going to get with a mystery bag, but you have that option on Woot.com. Now, I'm going to remove that. Another subsidiary of Amazon Prime is 6pm.com. 6, the number 6, pm.com. They will ask you to sign in with your Prime membership. Please do so you can get free shipping. Right? Now, 6 p.m. sells clothes and shoes for men, women, and children. Right? So if you see something, for example, on Zappos.com, which is also owned by Amazon, sign in with your Prime membership so you can get free shipping. You might find a pair of Uggs on Zappos.com. But if you go to 6 p.m., I guarantee you see the same Ugg boot and it's cheaper there. The sizes might be limited on 6 p.m. That's why it's cheaper. So for me, for an example, I wear the national sample size, which is a women's size 8. So it is very hard for me on 6 p.m. to find size 8 women's. But if you wear other sizes, or depending on the brand, and I'm talking high end to very low end, you can find on 6pm.com. Also, when you log into Amazon.com, some of you have Music Unlimited, right? You have the Music Unlimited, Amazon Music Unlimited, and you have Audible. Why? With Amazon Music Unlimited, Audible is included. So some of you are paying double the price and you don't have to, right? A lot of you are getting prescriptions. You would rather stand in CVS for an hour instead of having Amazon Prime deliver your prescriptions to you free of charge. Another option, when you download the Amazon Prime app, you will see a stream of information. I'm going to pull it up right here so y'all can see it because I want you to see it from the app. You will see a stream of things right above the app when you open it. Why my app acting up? I don't know. But anyway, one of the things that you have, maybe y'all can see it here. Can you see it? I don't think so. Can't see it here. No, you can't see. Can't see. It's too light. All right. You have groceries. You have haul. You have medical care, which is what Told y'all. You have pharmacy, the Hall. If you click on Hall, HAUL, a lot of the things that you purchase are on closeout. Like for an example, I use stretch bands, right? When I'm working out. And then recently I had to get a new one because I shifted my kneecap. So if you go to Amazon.com, I saw the stretch bands for like $20, $15. But when I went to Hall, I was able to get it for $1. Okay. So these are little tidbits that you should know. Let me get Sister Marcia in here. Little Sister Marcia, how you doing? So just
Happy Black Thursday. And tell us about the deals.
Oh, yes.
It's Blacktastic.
Uh-oh. You better leave Marcia alone. She ain't playing tonight. But anyway, because our guest is in queue and I want to bring her up because we don't have much time. So, anyway, all of these things are available to you now. Some of you may live near a Whole Foods, right? You know Whole Foods is owned by Amazon Prime, right? Download the Whole Foods app. When you open the app, there is a barcode, right? You use that barcode in the store and it allows you to get 10% off of your purchases, right? When you scan. I don't know if y'all can see. Y'all can't see that. But I don't think y'all can see that. But anyway, that's what it is, right? Anyway, now, on top of that, let's say you're coming home from work, you need a couple of groceries, you don't feel like stopping, you just want to go home, you're tired, but you need these groceries. You don't want to stand in line and all of that. You can pre-order a pickup any time of the day, right? I'm not waiting online in nobody Whole Foods. You crazy? Place your order online, sign out, you pay with whatever card you have loaded on your Amazon Prime, and then you go, say you want to get there at 4:30. You send an alert, I'm on my way at 4:15. Your package is waiting for you when you get there. All right? A lot of things that we can use and we are not using to our benefit. We are throwing money away, and I hate to see Black people throwing money away. Now, remember, Amazon Prime ain't paying me nothing. I'm just giving y'all the 411 to help you. Also, next month, I will be doing a Zoom conference on computer literacy and AI technology because we got to get caught up. And a lot of you are lagging and you're holding us back, right? So we're going to try to get you up to speed with computer literacy next month. So Dr. Filet is spearheading that. So as soon as she has all the details and all that, we will put it out there for you. Next month, I will be at BK William Mackey History Club. Now, Sister Pat don't know this, but she'll be there with me. I'll tell her tomorrow. I'll tell her tomorrow. But anyway, just giving y'all the 411 on how you can save money and use the most out of your membership and stop letting these people take it from you. Use it. And I'm telling you will love Woot.com. You know what I mean? People running around with $200 hokers. You go to Woot.com and give them for $60. Like, what you talking about? Like, y'all wilding out here. Y'all throw it away button. Stop doing it. So let's get some shout outs in here and we'll bring our guest in here. K Rush 409. Can y'all send K Rush 409 some love today? Do me a favor and send my mom some love today. Thank you. Big Ma, Doggy Diamond TV crew up in the building. What's good? Sister Brooke, always on the 1-2. I love it. Doggy Diamonds TV Mars, Sister Aruba in the building. What's good? Farnessa, you already know. Rich Nice in the building. Let's get it. Family, we got a lot. Dr. Filet, Brother Ray on the check-in. Let's get it. Now, when it comes to, I'm going to get this out the way and we're going to get into Kendrick Lamar. Now, when you think about racism, and I'm talking about, people calling you the N-word, you can't use the pool that white folks use or things like that. A lot of people think, 50, 60, 70, 100 years ago. But we're going to bring a guest. Hold on. Is she having problems? Yeah, she said she having problems. But we're going to have somebody come on who's going to tell you about the racism that they experienced as a child in upstate New York. This didn't happen in 1980, 70, 90. We talking 2013. I know people don't believe this when I tell them. When we used to take kids up to the Freedom Retreat for boys and girls, we would take them on various outings and different events. Two that was constant was the skating rink and the swimming pool. And I'm going to have someone come on and tell you their personal experience as soon as you get the kinks worked out. So y'all would know that I'm not telling y'all no damn lies. So let me see. Hold on. She got it. Are you ready? Give me a yes. You ready? All right, she ready. You ready? Can you hear me? Lee, can you hear me? Oh, she got you. Open your mic, Lee. Open your mic. All right, open it again. There you go. All right. Now, for me, introduce the people and let the people know exactly who you are. You got, hold on. There's something wrong with her mic. Hold on. Let me mute you and try to. All right, let me try to bring it back. All right, open it up. Can you hear now? Do you have headphones on? If you have headphones, you might have to take them out. If you have headphones. All right. She's going to try to fix this kink behind the scenes, family, and we're going to get her in here because I want you to hear from a young person's perspective. The person that we're going to be speaking to tonight is younger than the age of 30 and who spent many years at the Freedom Retreat for Boys and Girls in upstate New York, because I wanted her to give you a little bit of history of what that experience was like and why it's important that we get back to doing things like that. We were able to take these children out of inner cities from Sister Pat, I just mentioned you. We were able to take children from the city, not just New York, but children came from around the country to be a part of this Freedom Retreat for boys and girls. Lee, are you okay? Or no? Say hello. I don't know. I might have to put you in Messenger and share the screen. That might work that way. But anyway, so it was an experience like no other. I had never seen children who Dr. Fillet said, yes, her daughter attended too. And, it was an experience like no other. When I tell you that children were in tears when they had to leave once the 2 weeks was up, that let us know that everything we were doing was right and exact. When I'm talking about children coming from New York, New Jersey, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, South Africa, Wisconsin, Minnesota, so many children, and these children created a bond that is everlasting, right? But they also got to experience racism at a high level in upstate New York. So we're going to try this one more time. Can you just say hello? You got to unmute your mic because I can't do it here. Mic. Yeah, there you go. We're going to use Messenger. I'm going to use a different mechanism because I got to get on here. So just to giving you a pretext of what these children had to endure in upstate New York. Not just that, but I mean, we will move around the fairgrounds and you will see white men who will come out of the corners and the bars to watch our every move. It was eye-opening to a lot of the children who were up there. You know, you thinking about the early or mid 2000s, and you know, these kids are into computers, they into gaming and so on and so forth. And they had never experienced, though they had read about racism and injustice in their grandparents and great grandparents' lives. To have these young children experience this was eye opening. But like I said, the greatest thing that came out of that experience was a bond. They realized that they had to depend only on each other. And in experiencing that, we were able to do activities that sharpened their skills. So, for example, we took the children on a hike at night, 9 p.m. at night. If you ever been upstate New York, you know it's pitch black. We told them that they could not use flashlights, that they had to listen to each other, lead each other, hear the sounds around them, and pay attention to everything around them. We never lost one child. We never lost a child. When we got them to the campsite for the overnight, there was an experience that each of them had to engage with their ancestors like never before. It was so profound that the great Leola Maddox said that she had never witnessed anything like that before, that whatever I was doing had to continue, and that I had to be back on deck every year after that. And so I was willing to do that because, like Dr. Fillet, my daughter attended. So I wanted to make sure she was in a safe environment. I know these are our brothers and sisters, but I don't play with mine. So whatever she was involved in, I was involved in, period. So again, these children formed a bond, not just formed a bond in society, but when it came to their study, they were magnificent. They were so in tuned. It was profound, so profound that Alton Maddox himself said he had never witnessed such a thing. Like he just knew they was cheating because everything that they was doing was right and exact, but it was the experience that made them sharpen their skills. I say all that to say, family, today there is so much distraction, if you will, that our children can't stay focused. They can't stay in tune. They don't want to research the history because you don't research the history. They do what you do, period. So just keep in mind that as we move about, that you are going to hear and see some things from our young folks. Just be patient, be understanding, and be tactful in your approach. Like Brother Leonard said, he said it was purple military tactic. Definitely that up at the retreat. Yes, like Leonard said it, you had to find your way in the dark, but we never lost one. We never lost one. So we knew exactly what we were doing. Now, today, these children still have a connection, even though the Freedom Retreat for Boys and Girls are no more. They are now adults. Some of them are parents themselves. And it's magnificent to see. We have to get back to how we train our children. All right. So while I try to get Lee's kinks worked out behind the scene, I want our brother Tad to go into, this whole big thing with Kendrick Lamar. The internet is hot. The internet streets is hot. So we're going to get into it. I'm going to let my brother Tad kick it off while I help Lee get her kinks behind the scenes. All right.
Oh man, sis, I wish we had the visuals. Yo, shout out to everybody in the chat, Brother Leonard, Brother Ray, Sister Rupa, Big Ma, everybody, Sister Brooke, the whole family. Kendrick Lamar performance was nothing short of stellar. I realized a lot of people didn't get it because they were looking for theatrics, and I thought it was the perfect climate for him to execute what he did. Now, I saw breakdowns on the internet. Some of them were spot on. Some of them was crazy as bat dump. I got chills when I watched it, right? I didn't because I'm not a big sports fan. I'm not a sports fan at all. So I watched the playback Monday. I heard everybody talking about it. Soon as I put the video on and Samuel Jackson came on, he said, "This is your uncle." I caught chills. By him stating uncle, it was multi-layered, the visuals plus the audio. When he said, "This is your uncle," I immediately went to our enslavement. Back when black folks were called uncles, whether it's Uncle Tom, Uncle Ben's, Uncle Remus, just the term uncle to describe a slave because he used that Stephen voice. You could tell his whole demeanor was that of Stevens from Django. But then he said, "This is your Uncle Sam, Samuel Jackson, Uncle Sam, United States of America." So he would personify in America. But as I'm looking at a black man. He got the Stephen voice. He started with the uncle. So I recognize the time period, early America. We got to remember, without black folks, there would be no America. Our enslavement, our captivity in these lands is older than America itself, and we can't never forget that. So when we talk foundational black Americans, that's what we talk about. But this is just in Samuel Jackson's introduction. So then you see Kendrick Lamar come, he dropped a little music. He's standing on the 1987 Buick. Now, I knew this from his album cover that the 1987 Buick was symbolic because that's the year that he was born. And that particular model, they didn't even make no more. They made it that year, and then that was it. It had little bells and whistles, but that was one of the one of the more popular Buick Regals was the 1987 one. So all of the symbolism, people saw the letter A on Kendrick's chain. They was like, "Yeah, that's for the A minor. That's for the A minor." It could be, but what people don't know is Kendrick also has a company called PG Lang, called Program Lang, rather Program Language. Him and a brother and a dude named Dave Free. They started that. It's a multimedia company. So Kendrick was really giving people a lot of flavor, and of course, with the red and blue, so much was nuanced that it had more than one meaning. You got the red and blue, him repping LA. It could be Crips and Bloods, and the white could be for America. Like rest in peace, Shock G said in the LA West Coast All Stars song, "Same Gang." America, get busy, Humpty, the red, the white, the blue, and the red for Crips and Bloods, the whites for who got you doing time. That's what went on in my mind. I'm just giving perspective, what I saw and how I felt. But I saw it very black American. He didn't use the Garvey flag. And of course, shout out to Garvey. Shout out to all our Garveyites, us being one, Pan African. He didn't use a Jamaican flag. He didn't. This was particularly about black America. He was making a statement. Samuel Jackson was the personification of what America / coons want from young people in the revolutionary spirit. A lot of times we're told to be quiet, shut up, calm down. As Samuel Jackson displayed, don't get too ghetto, don't do this, that, and the third. I mean, it was so multi-layered. He did a song with SZA. SZA used to date Drake, so did Serena Williams. But for Serena doing the Crip walk, many people may not know, but I believe Kendrick Lamar is a Crip. He's definitely from Compton, and he is gang affiliated. His jacket said Gloria, which is his mother, who he always paid homage to. It was so dope. But using Drake's exes to really tease Drake, to get at Drake, because Drake is the face of those folks who's not like us. When he talks about they're not like us, he's specifically talking about black American people. He was talking about Drake because Drake is Canadian. Drake cosplay blackness, but he's not from the soil. That's why even in the song, he talked about Drake going to Atlanta to steal the swag like people did back when Atlanta first got established as the black mecca, as the business black mecca. There was so much, Sister Keisha. Like, I would need all the imagery frame by frame, because even with them putting the flag together, coming together as the flag. And of course, the flag split and showing how divided the country is. But then also him turning the stage into a prison yard.
Mhm.
We could go back to his old VMA performances where he came out as an chained up African / prison inmate, you know, because he had lights and special effects to go from the inmates to enslaved Africans. You know, if you could ever watch that video again. So Kendrick Lamar is very creative. And I want to wrap this up because I want to give other people a chance, you know, Sister Marcia, Brother Black, to chime in on this.
Mhm.
But he went from the prison yard, right? The prison yard was also synonymous with the screen on a PlayStation controller. The PlayStation controller, of course, you know, he had his ex dancing, he had Drake's ex dancing on it. But then when he ended it with Game Over, it was so multi-layered on how he did that.
Mhm.
And I thought it was so profound. And what people miss is that everything you saw was Black culture. You saw Black culture at its rawest and its finest. People were looking for fireworks and theatrics and why he didn't have no features. And hold up, Sister Keisha, people were asking why he didn't do some of his former songs that were bigger. Well, this PG Lang company is what his new album is out on. He gets 80% of all the profits of this new album, this new venture he has. The
Mhm.
old stuff he performed, he don't get much money out of that. So he is now rebranding himself and also making a smart business move because he's on one of the biggest stages and he has a message. Not only is he showing Black folks how to properly do business, but also reinforcing that we are the culture. Nothing moves without us. He had one of the most watched Super Bowl performances, beat Michael Jackson out, beat Prince.
Usher too.
Oh, definitely beat Usher out. Like Usher. Usher had theatrics. Usher had on a costume. He had, you know, didn't he have roller skates? I don't know. Usher Usher had theatrics, and that's what I'm saying. Kendrick Lamar is a raw talent. He didn't need all of that for people to talk about it, for him to be expressive and get his point across. See, when you're a real artist, you don't have to explain your art. It's up to everybody's interpretation what they see. If you got to explain what you're doing, then you're not as talented as you like to think you are. Kendrick didn't say a word. He let his art speak for itself. Because my interpretation could be wrong. I don't know what's
Mhm.
in that brother's head, but this is what I walked away with based on my information and my knowledge base, understanding who he is as an artist, understanding the political climate, understanding, you know, just what real artistry looks like, you know. But I'm a yield for a moment, you know, until somebody can
This,
spark another thought in that.
this is fire. This is fire. We're gonna try this one more time. If not, we're gonna bring her in later. Open your mic. Open your mic. I need you to open your mic. Speak. For some reason, she is not allowed to speak. I think I might have to use Messenger. I think you might have to log out, go into Messenger, and I will share the screen so then people will be able to hear you that way. Because that's the only way we're gonna be able to fix it. I don't know why it's not working. She's using a phone, but you gotta hear that story. But going back to this performance, it was on fire. And for all of you folks out there who say these celebrities, they don't say nothing, they don't do nothing, you can't say that. You can't say that.
Shout out
These-
to Big Ma too. He said, "Don't forget the light pole represents the
yes.
Torah deck card." See, I'm not familiar with the Torah deck card. I would have to watch the video again and again. But yes, with the light pole, because of our culture,
Mhm.
street lights.
Lights.
Hold on, brother
Oh,
Black.
brother Black.
Being home when the street light come on, many people don't realize that came from the sundown towns, from us having to be back home or at least on your porch by the time. So there was so much historical significance. And thank you, brother Big Ma, because there's so many thoughts. It was so multi-layered. And I
Mhm.
had to get that because it was the culture. It was the culture. Most Black folks, most people know you got to be home by the time the street lights on, but they don't understand that came from a culture of oppression, from us not being allowed to be outside once the street light came on, whether we lived in the town or not. these sheriffs could know our whole families, could know our grandparents. But the rule was in all these sundown towns, when that street light come on, you need to be in your house or at least on your porch. And what's so crazy about that, and I'm gonna pass the mic back to you, right, Sister Keisha? A brother posted on my page that that's not really revolutionary because that's the white man's platform and the white man ain't gonna let you be but so revolutionary. And it makes me wonder, do our people really know our story? Because I had to remind them during our enslavement on the plantation, we sang songs and spoke a language that they didn't understand in plain view. When we sang them Negro spirituals, we were singing songs of running away and resistance. And I used the analogy of the patchwork quilt. Here it was
Mhm.
hung on the laundry line in plain view that anybody could see. But if you knew how to read the patchwork quilt, you would know that was an escape route off the plantation and get to the
Mhm.
Underground Railroad. So that was done in plain sight on them folks' plantation. But when you have your culture, you can speak a language that's hard for people to decipher. That's why when we came up with crump dances, the different genres of music, we are the culture, we are the driving force, and we're constantly evolving. And
Facts.
people miss that. And I'm talking about our brothers who's supposed to be conscious. Sometimes
Facts.
too conscious that you miss the whole thing because don't underestimate the genius of our young folks. See, as we age, we got to realize things are evolving. Just like we ain't want to listen to the elders when we was teenagers in the 20s and they
Right.
was telling us about the 60s, but I was born in the 70s. I don't want to hear about that. But time went on. We grow, we learn, we evolve, and we got to leave space for our children.
Mhm.
Because as Dr. Amos said, with racism, superficially it will change, but fundamentally it will remain the same. So once we master the basics, the fundamentals on how racism and white supremacy work in this country, our children
Mhm.
can identify it. And we can help them with the new shape that racism may take right now because they're literally in the classes with them. The generation before us came in after the civil rights movement, so they can remember when schools and stores were segregated. We don't remember so much because that was our parents' generation. But now these are our kids who are far removed from that America, but nonetheless still feel the subtle microaggressions and realize the images that are sold to them aren't really who they are. So we
Facts.
thank Kendrick for being one of the leaders of the new school. And he swept the Grammys the week before. Killed it. Killed it. So
Yes.
we gotta stop underestimating our own genius. When people act like white people give us permission, if we get permission to do what we gotta do, then there ain't never been no revolution. Then there never been no Malcolm, there never been no Nat Turner, Harriet Tubman, or Frederick Douglass. Because remember, they met with the powers that be also. So when we talk about freedom, we say we fight for freedom. And this is for the people in the audience and the playback. What does freedom look like to you? Because it's not
Mhm.
the same freedom of Malcolm or Dr. King or Harriet Tubman or Medgar Evers. It's not the same thing. They were more specific. So right now, I know on this platform, we talk about reparations and our own self-determination. That's what our freedom looks like. To be free thinkers, to move about the planet uninterrupted, unbothered, but also compensated for our ancestors' labor and our labor. Because this whole COVID thing was a play too, but we ain't even gonna go there. I yield my time, sis.
You know, um, I want people to really understand something that Brother Ashe used to always say. The battlefield is where you stand. He did what he did in the position that he is in. So when people say he wasn't revolutionary, that's because you look for feel good history. Feel good history got you out here tripping. You looking for a Nat Turner. You's a fool. The
Yeah.
enemy fights you on many fronts. He will unalive you. He will give you inoculation to unalive you. He will convince you to give up your children. He will convince you to destroy yourself. He on you 24/7 in many different fronts.
Cut your own chops.
Listen, Kendrick did the damn thing. Period. Now, another thing that we should point out, there was a show called 90 Day Fiance. Some of you may have seen it, some of you heard of it. young Ethiopian brother named Biniam from 90 Day Fiance who married a Yorugu. I think she lived in Long Island or New Jersey. Anyway, she was treating him like a servant boy. Anyway, his goal was to come to the US and become a great dancer or an MMA fighter. One of Kendrick's dancers, well, Biniam.
Wow.
Biniam. He put him on. Not nobody from Ethiopia who's doing very well here, but Kendrick put him on. The 13 stars representing the 13 colonies when all of this crap went down was at center stage. How did you miss that? And I know a lot of people say that was dumb. It was, you didn't, just say you didn't get it. Say I didn't get it. Because if you got it, there is no way you could say that this move wasn't revolutionary. You never saw any artist do this before during a halftime show or any other damn show.
The most watched show on the planet.
I'm going to get off my soapbox and I want to hear from Sister Marcia and then Brother Black their thoughts on the halftime show. And I'll try to get our guest on Messenger.
So I love Kendrick. I love his young energy and his boldness to tell the truth. That's missing even within our generation. You know, we are many, but there are still few amongst us all that is willing to tell the truth as they see it. And for his generation, you know, me looking in, it's like, oh, there's nobody really telling you guys the truth. And here he is boldly and confidently speaking on what matters. But because your ear is towards capitalism and consumerism, you couldn't understand this. And the same thing with the 2016 Grammy performance, 2018 or 19 Grammy performance. It's always the same conversation when Mr. Lamar gives a performance, because he's not doing these quote unquote capitalist and consumerism types of content. He is doing content to wake you up and make you think about something more than, oh, I gotta go buy a Gucci. Oh, hey man. So it's really, really great that, you know, the future is bright for people who are very creative and willing to express their minds 100%. Everything was stellar. I personally have a problem with Serena because she's not like them either. You know, she went and got herself a Urugu and Urugu children that's just like, you know, Drake. So what are you really saying? Are you just really mad for what he said? And so now you're just like, oh, I get a moment to just step on him. Crip, crip, crip. So that's my personal thought on that. And I think it became a personal thought because everyone kept making an emphasis on her. Like it could have just been that she just did what she did, but everyone was, oh yeah, he had two of his girls. One was a performer that he's been performing with for forever. If we look at his catalog, him and SZA has had performances together, have songs written together, but now it's all, and no one is like, oh, look at SZA. No, everyone is still just on this young lady for her acts, but at the end of the day, she just created a they not like us child or children. So I'll rest on that piece.
What I'll say to that, Marcia, and like I said, Kendrick, it was double meaning, because it could be for, you know, Kendrick, but also you got to remember all the black backlash she got from, I think it was the 2012 Olympics, for doing the crip walk after she beat the white girl. And they were talking about how ghetto that was. You know, proper society was saying that that was very ghetto and ignorant. So for him to invite her back to a big stage and do that quote unquote ghetto dance, I also seen that as a thumb in the nose up. You know, I agree with you, but
I can see your point about that. however, she's been on many large
But
stages. That
not the Super Bowl. Nothing's bigger than the
I
Super Bowl in
understand that.
America.
I completely understand that. But she's been on many large stages past that one event that, she has made her presence known. I just think like you're making a valid point, but the whole interspace is more focused on the fact that, it's the two gals that he was in relations with. And I just feel like it's, how many people being in relationships with?
But
Like,
you know what's funny? And not to cut you off, sister, I'm gonna give you the mic back. This whole thing about the women, because what people don't know is Drake is a sucker for love, and this is what caused his conflict with so many people. Because Drake is a skirt chaser, about as big as Dr. Sukiana, right? So this is what you love so much, because you can't forget now. Hold up, right? While he's doing his tour in Australia, he saw that his two exes was on there, and he had a meltdown on stage. He literally had a meltdown that Sunday after he found out that that happened. So Kendrick was very, very strategic with that, because he knew that would strike a chord with him. Because you got to remember, Drake went and got a tattoo of Wayne because Drake slept with Wayne's girlfriend when Wayne went to jail. But Wayne is your big bro. Wayne is the one who put you on. Yeah, that's how you apologize to Wayne, by getting it. Who gets a tattoo of a man? Especially if you my homie, like, dude, my dude. Nah. But again, notice a lot of artists don't deal with Drake because Drake's shenanigans. That's why even in Kendrick performance, he said, they're gonna sue. Like they like to sue. And that's what he's talking about. Drake, like, what hip-hop artist in the history of hip-hop you ever seen sue the ops if they're gonna perform a song? Imagine if MC Shan said, KRS better not perform The Bridge Is Over, I'm suing them. Or Jay-Z said, Nas better not never perform Ether.
well, but that's part of him being part of the other side of the mansion, right? So
Right.
this is how those people on the other side of the mansion operates. They feel like a lawsuit is their primary answer for everything. So, like I said, I get and I appreciate your breakdown. From my viewpoint, I just feel like we shouldn't emphasize her too much because she has a lot of baggage at the end of the day. And I think one of the main reasons that people are confused is because there were no women without clothes on. And again, to Kendrick's Mr. Lamar's platform, he has never really had naked people or anywhere. It's not something that I see in the content that he delivers to the audience. And lastly, shout out to the man with the Gaza Sudan flag running around talking about
He violated.
He violated.
I think they all knew. I think they all knew. Oh, listen.
I saw an interview he did, and he said that wasn't planned. He said Kendrick didn't know. He just felt this. Everybody fashioned himself as a freedom fighter now, doing dumb shit. Right.
Well, who's the freedom fighter that does dumb? Who's the freedom fighter?
No, the dude that held it up. I forget what his name is.
No, but you said everybody, so I want to know who's everybody.
Shit, all these Black Lives Matter people. Roland Martin. Oh my God, I fucking agree with Roland Martin on some shit, but we gonna get to that too. Oh man, like, I agree. Because from my understanding, like I said, I didn't watch the show, I didn't watch the foot thing, but I was told Roland Martin said they sung the Black National Anthem. I said, did they? By James Weldon Johnson? But what's the dude Armstrong? What's his name? Sister Keisha, you know what I'm talking about. Dark skin, bald head. Anyway.
Louis?
No, Louis Armstrong's the Louis Armstrong? No, anyway, right? Roland Martin said there was nothing wrong with singing National Black Anthem, which I agree.
Armstrong Williams.
Armstrong, thank you, Sister Keisha. Thank you. Upon Nessa.
I don't know.
Armstrong Williams said that was no place for it. I was like, huh? Because sometimes Armstrong Williams say some things I agree with, but I agree with Roland Martin. Why? The National Black
Martin, not Hampton.
Because check this out, right? And I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna get the mic back because I got to get this off. Shout out to Sister Katasha into his house. It's good to see you, sis. Outside,
yeah, that's our sis right there.
You normally talk in the group chat, but well, here's the thing, right? Because it's Sister Marcia. I know you know the words to the National Black Anthem, right? Armstrong Williams was saying that was no place for it because if they play favoritism, you know, if they got to sing our anthem, next thing you know, they got to sing the Chinese anthem, they got to sing this anthem, that anthem, everybody else, the Spanish anthem, the Russian anthem. See, my thing with this is, as a foundational Black American, which James Weldon Johnson was, who wrote that for foundational Black folks, we literally built this country so we could stake claim. We got a right to pop shit and talk shit because we built this shit. Let's be clear. Asians didn't build it. Russians didn't build it. Spanish didn't build it. The Skittle crew, you know, them folks we ain't supposed to talk about, they ain't build it. So damn everybody else, national anthem, part one. Part two, our anthem is so profound because those who don't know the words only hear the first stanza and just think about the marching part, but they forget stony the road we trod, bitter the chastening rod. They forget those words. They forget the last part. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. That is a powerful song. So anytime we get to celebrate and sing our shit, we should. And I don't give a damn who has a problem with it. And when Roland Martin shared my sentiment, though I don't care about Roland Martin too much, I can't disagree with him. Because that's one of the things I keep saying about our folks. It's a difference between knowledge and rhetoric. And what Armstrong Williams was saying was rhetoric. We have to be honest when we talk in our piece. We can't be liars like everybody else. Because I understood what Armstrong Williams was talking about. Yeah, if you got to do it one for one, you got to do it for everybody. But everybody can't stake the claim that we can stake. Because like I said, when I saw Samuel Jackson, I know slavery is older than this country. Our enslavement. We talked about kidnapping clubs on this platform, which means what? Free people were kidnapped. I keep trying to tell people all Black people here weren't slaves. We have to get that part of the history right too. So there's so many nuances. I just had to get that off before we missed that. Because a lot went on this week in the news. Because also 19 attorney generals, at least 19 attorney generals across the country is coming for Dr. Fauci and everybody else who down with him. And they said, damn Biden's pardon. Then that's a federal pardon. We trying to get him on state levels because he did delete a lot of people with his foolishness. I'm like, get him. Get him. Get him.
You see, of all the pardons that Biden administered, he left them Black AGs out. He left all them Black attorney generals out the mix. You see what I'm saying? And you laid on your back.
And shout out to Tish James, because they're gonna come for you because you don't even want to represent the brother who got deleted upstate, up north, that was locked up. Right.
She said she wanna recuse herself. That's what she said.
Yeah.
Wig. Out here. Her name is Wig. We call her Wig over here. Hard Wig. That's her name. We don't show her no love over here. That wig is crazy. Brother Black, did you see the halftime show and your thoughts? Go ahead.
I want to talk about the symbology of it all.
Get to it, brother.
I didn't really focus on the symbology of it myself personally. But it was said that Trump left right after his performance. Now, I don't know how true that is because I didn't, look at the videotape to verify that and so on. But reliable people have said that. And but I look at it as a changing of the guard. I didn't really look at the symbology of it, but I know when I saw it, it made me feel good. So I felt good about it. And that could be because maybe because I'm not a traditional foundational Black American, even though I was born in New York. It was the closest thing to a few years back, 2018 to be exact, when Childish Gambino put out This Is America, in my opinion, without the overt symbology. That was more of the esoteric symbology for me, while Charles Gambino was more an overt one. And the changing of the guard part for me is that if he choreographed that or had some if he choreographed that and it was great choreography, he's proven himself to be one of the greatest artists, period. You know, on par with Prince, Michael Jackson, and all those people. If he did that himself, well, like Kanye, you know, and a lot of other people who do a lot of different things. And we just give them credit for one or two things, but they do a lot of different things. And it's a changing of the guard moment. It's a watershed moment, in my opinion. So it was a great thing. And like I've been telling y'all since I've been on the show, and I even knew that before I started doing the show. I believe it's a mandate and given permission, because we still have to understand the entertainment industry is still controlled by the Democrats. So in the event that he did something so symbolic and so positively, fundamentally Black American, I believe that was the symbolic watershed moment that split the timeline between us being victims to us now taking the mantle and taking over. And with that, I yield.
Thank you, Black. I love that you said that, you know, moving from that victim mentality, because we always say that here. We got to stop looking at ourselves like victims. And that was a dope breakdown.
So, family, we had some technical difficulties. There were problems on her end, but I did get her on the phone. So, hold on 1 second. Put it on speaker so I make sure everybody here. Lee, you hear me? Yeah, I can hear you. Hold on. Try to turn this up. Maybe it'll work. Hold on. Oh, I know why. I gotta close that. All right. So, all right. Say hello. Let me make sure they can hear you.
Hello, you can hear me?
Nah, it's real low. For some reason, it won't even go on speaker. This is wow. Well, this is wow. They don't want her on here tonight. They don't want her to tell the truth. That's what it is. They don't want her to tell the truth, y'all. But hold on.
That's enough for the young people. They say, "Oh, the young people."
They trying to block our young folks.
Folks,
They trying to block them. You know what I mean? But hold on. Let me see. Say something now. Go ahead.
Hello?
Yeah, it's real low, right, y'all?
Yeah, it's low, but I can hear her.
It's real low. I don't know. Could you put it on speaker on your end? Are you on headphones? All right. Try to get and see if that will help the situation. They don't want our young people talking. They don't want her. They don't want y'all to hear her truth. They really don't want y'all to hear her truth about what goes on in New York. Huh?
Do you have the Rodecaster? Like,
no.
What do you have your mic plugged in? Straight into your computer? Do you have?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Hold
because
on.
with a Rodecaster, you could plug it. Plug.
Yeah, I could. You know what? There is hold on. She's looking for some headphones or something. I don't know. But until she find it, she'll let me know. But another, say that again. Nah, it's still too low. We gonna bring you back in next week, all right? All right. We're gonna reschedule her for next week so we can get these kinks worked out. Because this is a story that you have to hear. Because it's relevant to some of the things that we've been talking about. But also with this whole halftime show, as Dr. Fillet says, let me go to her quote. She said it was so much coded that if you're really not about it, you really don't know what the hell you was looking at. She said he used the cipher method. A lot of stuff was coded. Absolutely. This has been a performance that I have never seen as far as celebrity rebelling. He also talked about how the industry uses artists, uses our culture, make money off our culture, and then try to prevent us from controlling the culture. All of these things were said. All of these things were said. He also said he's tired of people feeding off of us. I don't know if y'all caught that.
I did. He says it's 40 acres in the music. This is bigger than the music.
Hello.
That he said blatantly. He said this is bigger than the music.
Yes, and also Tad, one thing I like too is when he said, hold on, I had it written down here. Hold on, give me a second, family, because he's trying to text me. All right, so he was talking about how Black culture is promoted, and then after the end of it, towards the end of his performance, is when the Muslim brother came in waving the Palestinian Sudanese flag in support. My issue is this. Here you have a Black man from the shores of America pleading our plight before the world. Now remember, and he used his full budget. No artist is paid to do the halftime show. They are, however, given a $15 million budget. All of those people got paid. Okay? He made sure they was eating. When Not Like Us first came out, he let it fly, took all copyrights off so everybody could eat. What other artist is doing that?
Right.
When Tory Lanez tried it, he's now incarcerated. So I'm just saying, for this brother to come and interrupt protests, if you will, is problematic. And this is the problem that he was talking about, that we talk about. Everybody want to feed off of our shine. You can't do that. Why didn't you wait until the game started and ran your ass out there?
Right.
Why did you do it on the brother's time? Why did you interrupt him? Why did you interrupt them? All those performers. Why did you do that? For the Palestinians, what have they done for me? This has got to stop. Everybody feeds off of us like a goddamn caucus. And that's the problem. But now that we are standing up and straightening our backs, people are in their feelings. Don't get in your feelings. Join the fight. If you can't join the fight, be an ally. I said to a sister a couple of weeks ago, because I'm thinking about doing a trip next week to the Historical Society, taking a group. But I was saying to her, because she was saying, well, she grew up here, you know, like our brother and sister here. But I said, how do you know your lineage didn't start here? How do you know? People who left the shores of the U.S. to go to Haiti, their lineage is still here. They were enslaved here until they fought. The problem is people don't understand lineage. People are so lazy, Brother Tan, that they are waiting for us to do all the heavy lifting for them.
Yes.
The problem is we're not doing that anymore.
Right.
Now, you have several African countries who have offered us citizenship, not just us, but people throughout the diaspora, including recently, as early as I think it was Sunday, when President Traore issued out a warning to Trump to leave Black Americans the hell alone. But the issue that I have is our repatriation, if it will, comes at a price, at a cost. Your repatriation to these shores did not. You have a lot to unfold. I'm talking to all 54 nations. You have a lot to unfold because none of you waged war on our behalf. None of you. Not just here, our brothers and sisters throughout the diaspora. None of you waged war on our behalf. So to open citizenship is not enough. This is the thing that Dr. Araucana said when we had that meeting in Queens. And I told her, because I saw the faces of the people she came with, they was pissed the hell off. And I said to her, and Tag could confirm, they're coming for you. Before you leave here today, they're coming for you. Just for what you said. She said, Africa owes us better than what it's doing. It's not enough. It's not enough. So we go over there. Brother Tag got land, school, or whatever over there. Now he got to bring financing over there, including trying to finance himself and his family here. But when your citizens come to these shores, you got welfare programs, you got free housing programs, you got free food programs, you got free business programs. What are you opening up for us? It has to be reciprocal. We can't start from scratch with every goddamn body. The crew tell us, pull yourself up by your bootstraps. Everybody else telling us, oh, if you got money, come on. Bring your money, bring your talents here. But what the hell are you offering me? One scene, and I have it on my personal Instagram page. There was a scene from the movie or the series Women of Brewster's Place. The scene between Cicely Tyson and Robin Givens. Cicely Tyson plays Robin Givens' mother. Now, Cicely Tyson comes to visit her, and Robin Givens tells her she changed her name to an African name. I want to play the clip, but I know I will be flagged for it, so I'm just going to tell you. So, Robin Givens goes off on her mother. She knows her mother and her family are well-to-do. They are Black people of money and means, and she thinks they are turning up their nose on their Black heritage. Well, Cicely Tyson then tells Robin Givens' character, you had to reach into an African dictionary to find a name to make you proud. She said, my father is full-blooded Iroquois. She then gave her the history of everything that her family and their people went through. At the end of this berate, Robin Givens then holds her head down. She has nothing to say. We have been so turned around in our fight. It is pathetic. Even my aunt said in the video that I had showed y'all a few weeks ago that when they were coming up, they were all classified as Negro. It didn't matter where you came from. Everybody was thrown into a bunch, negating the fact that they were already here and had identifying tribes. I remember clearly and distinctly as a child, my grandmother used to always say, we are not African. We are not African. She was talking about her maternal line, which is full-blooded in this country. So what she was saying is that we are not taking on another identity. We are Black Americans. This is our tribe. This is where we are from, though her paternal line did come from the continent, right? She understood that, but she wanted her grandchildren to have a clear understanding. Don't mess with Lizzie. She wanted all her grandchildren to have a clear understanding of who they were. Who they were. She was adamant about that. So when I saw that scene with Cicely Tyson and Robin Givens, it automatically brought me back to that conversation or many conversations I had with my very own grandmother. Given the history of her maternal line, as Dr. Shashi McIntyre said, everybody can be Black and something else, African and something else. But when it comes to us, we got to pigeonhole ourselves into something. Negating our Aboriginal heritage here is problematic. If you visit the Brenton Museum, they have an exhibit on the original indigenous cultures or tribes in this country. Everybody is darker than all of us put together. So again, family, don't let these people fool you and pigeonhole you into foolishness when you don't have to be. And let's show some respect and dignity for one another. Like I said, I'm a part of the Free Haiti movement. My job is to be an ally, not an adversary. Whatever they put in the group, and we got to do now. Dr. Easily Danto is starting a book club on his new book, And, you know, I just stay back and I listen and I learn. And until my hand is called for me to get in the fray. And we got to understand that. I'm looking at some of the comments, even from the UK. Remember that, Brother Taz? Sister going off.
Yeah.
About Kendrick Lamar's performance. Stuff. And just so wrong in everything that she said.
Yeah. You know, sis.
You got politicians who are using his song for their arguments on the floor. What you don't give Black Americans is just due. All people want to do is feed off the culture, and that's problematic. Check this out. Look at this politician. Hold on. Here we go. Here we go, family. Check this out.
Minor. Elon Musk is sending his unqualified Doge staff to carry out this agenda across all these agencies. And in some cases, actually teenage staffers. No accountability, no experience, and problematic records. They're trying to rob you, and they're probably a minor. Thank you, and I yield back.
Everybody want to rape the culture, do whatever they want. And this is problem. That's what Kendrick was saying on the stage. Everybody want to feed off us like a goddamn carcass. Dope, dope. That was dope. You know, but like I said, enough is enough.
Well, you know, Sister Keisha, I'm glad you bringing those points up about the continent and about how do we identify ourselves, because here in our sojourn as Black folks in America or as captive Africans in America, you know, we constantly have these conversations. And you know me, I always say we got to save the rhetoric. If we're going to have the conversation, let's have an honest one.
Right.
You know, and we used to get ridiculed when we say I got Indian in my family. Remember, that's the thing. Black people talk about they ain't got no Indian in their family. They ain't got no Indian in their family. We got to understand that it takes hundreds of people to make one of us. And I always got to remind people, I've traced my mother's father's bloodline back to Africa, right? But also my mother's mother's bloodline was already here in America. So now it's like picking a favorite parent. Do I go with my African parent? Do I go with my indigenous parent? You know what I'm saying? It's all of that that makes up me. But I am my own person with my own experience. Like we said last week, value our own lives because we making history every day with the work we do. What we just witnessed with Kendrick Lamar was history. And we are alive to see that. It's a paradigm shift. That's why I like what Brother Black said. You know, there was a changing of the guard. Yep. We're literally witnessing it. We're supporting it. We're advocating it. We're doing the work for it. And for our African brothers and sisters, our Caribbean brothers and sisters, I don't know why people will have a problem with us identifying as Black Americans. Why do we have to be an African American when somebody said recently, you don't call Jamaicans African Jamaicans and you don't call Haitians African Haitians. They just Haitian. They just Jamaican. Why can't it just be American/Black American? But everybody keeps saying we don't have a culture, but everybody is cosplaying. Now, see, this is the thing they don't know about Gen X. The reason why we're the X, because it's unknown. You don't know what you're going to get. X is a variable. X is a multiplier. We're multiply all those revolutionary spirits that have come before us. We are the creators and inventors of hip hop, which has become a global phenomenon. Let's be clear. We're the fearless ones. We have the spirit of Malcolm and Dr. King, because I would never call Dr. King a coward, ever. Because that man went in enemy territory with no intentions to fight. That's a different level of bravery for me. I don't go in other parts of Brooklyn without a weapon in my boys. Let's be honest. Call me a coward, whatever. But you ain't going to catch me lacking, as the kids would say. But Dr. King had that level of bravery, faith, and commitment to what he believed to be his truth. And you have to honor that, because we forgot what real manhood is. We forgot the science of manhood and womanhood. And that's why we run around here going crazy. Not all of us, but a nice portion of our folks. So when we claim our identity, when we celebrate Kwanzaa and we say Kuji Chakalia, what does Kuji Chakalia mean to you? Self-determination. I define myself. Nobody define me. And it ain't just white people define me. Black folks either. I define myself. My bloodline defines me. Nature defines
Yes.
me. My experience defines me. Not because I read a book. I read the autobiography of Malcolm, and now I'm part of the Lost Tribe of Shabazz, or
You ain't the king consciousness. Come on, Tad. Come on now. Come on now. Come
I
on
got
now.
enough money to be the King Kong of consciousness. I told him I donate 5. He said, I know that's all you got, but you could do 10. I said, well, I'll give you 10. He said, I know you got 20. I said, what are you, an auctioneer? Like, come on. Where's Sukiyama?
You just should have sent the CD to him.
Yeah, right?
But I want to play this clip real quick and we'll come right back.
I'm going to explain this because some of y'all seem confused. See this lady in the blue? That is an American Indian. This lady in the red, that is a Native American, an immigrant from Siberia. Once again, lady in the brown, that is an American Indian. Lady over here with the feather, that is a Native American, Siberian immigrant. This is an American Indian with the headband. This over here in the red is a Native American, immigrant from Siberia. Once again, lady in the brown, an American Indian, the indigenous people of America. Lady in the black jacket, Native American, immigrant from Siberia. These are two different people, two different cultures. Don't confuse them.
I hope that helps some of y'all pretty much understand. And then if you can, follow the Brenton Museum. They have some exhibits also on Native Americans, and it will blow your mind. It's on. They have a page on Instagram, so you should be able to Brenton BRINTON. Check that out where you can. Now, I wanted to go through this incident. Y'all gonna stay out of your Urugu mess.
Oh, Lord.
So, Stephen Twitch Boss, who they said unalived himself, his family speaks out. And here is some commentary from his mother as to how she and her black family was treated by this man's Urugu wife.
There. You were asked to sign an NDA to go to the funeral? It became, if you don't sign, you will not be able to see him and you will not be able to participate. Connie says she signed a revised version of the non-disclosure agreement so that she could see her son before he was cremated. In her now released memoir, Allison Holker expressed concern about pictures of Stephen leaking to the public. To make me sign a document to see the child that I brought into the world? I can't even put into words what that feels like. Mm-hmm. And you know, this was a sensational story, so yeah. Definitely there are going to be people out there who would take advantage of that. So I truly understand that. I guess my issue with it is that we are family. I'm his mother. What did you honestly think I was going to do? Mm-hmm. You know, his brothers, his grandparents, his uncle, his aunts. What did you think we were going to do? Now, just over 2 years since Stephen's death, a People magazine article has become a new point of contention. It included details from Allison's book about Stephen's marijuana use and Allison allegedly finding a, quote, cornucopia of other drugs in the home he shared with her and their 3 children after Stephen passed. And when you read it for the first time and heard it, what did you think? How did you react? Immediately it was, oh my God. And then it was, this is going to be out there for the kids to see. Downhill from there. You were asked to sign an NDA to go to the funeral? It became, if you don't sign, you will not be able to see him and you will not be able to participate.
Connie says she signed a revised version of the non-disclosure agreement so that she could see her son before he was cremated. In her now released memoir, Alice.
That's insane. But again, y'all gonna learn. Keep it up here.
The people.
Didn't Kanye file for divorce today? Again?
Did he?
That's what the papers are saying. So I don't know.
Look.
Y'all gonna learn. Y'all gonna learn the hard way. But I find this suspect because there were some murmurings that could have been foul play in his unaliving. So we don't know. But all I'm saying is, I don't know, maybe because I'm the way that I am, my child would rather throw herself off the roof than to bring me home a Yoruga. She would dive off the roof head first than to bring that here. I had a family member who tried that. I'll text Tad who he is. Tried it. And so I was a kid at that time, and I saw the Yoruga in the living room. I went running to town. I'm telling you. My grandmother came out that living room. You don't get that out my damn house, I'll kill you. But I'm just saying, we forget and we get comfortable because, society that we live in makes you comfortable, but we should be on alert even more. With the duopoly of the Democrat and Republican parties, you get this. The Democrats, you get lies, you get benign neglect, and they use you to better advance other groups. With the Republicans, you get things like Jim Crow. You get aggression. So now in places like Nashville, Tennessee, you got these Yorugus, and then in Ohio, you got these Yorugu white supremacists talking about they coming into the neighborhood. Well, black folks let them know what time it was. They pulled up, I think it was in Ohio.
It was Ohio.
Yeah, it was Cincinnati.
Yeah. Yep. And they got that business.
That real business.
All y'all better be on code. All y'all better be on code. If these people start acting up, because now, that Donald Trump and Elon Musk is running the show, it's putting a lot of batteries in these people back. But I told y'all that this is the way it goes. You can't win with either. Dr. Filet say, I told my children I will disown them. Disown them, she'll be missing. She'll be missing. Pharaoh would be missing. That's what I'm telling y'all. Now, if he's missing, then you know why. All right? This is the way it's going down.
Well, we know Pharaoh ain't going that route.
He ain't going. He already told you she's going to be brown and busty.
That's right.
That's what he said.
Hey, Sister Keisha.
Go ahead.
Before we get far off from Twitch and his wife and all that, I want to do a little retrospective on that. We remember the situation with Ann H and that fiasco with the car accident. That was right before Twitch. It was rumored. Now, I ain't going to substantiate it. It was rumored all over the place, all online around that time. That as a matter of fact, right after her supposed alleged passing, she came out with a movie about SA. And it was rumored that him and her together had, Ann H knew the skinny on Ellen because that was her girlfriend. That was the one she was with when she did that infamous kiss on Roseanne back then before she became the big star she is now, or was. And so supposedly they were, I guess they found out something or saw something or whatever, and they were supposed to get together and join forces and go against Ellen. And then remember, right after that, pretty much Ellen moved overseas. She's a Rockefeller. And then with Ye in particular and Kanye, I've told y'all this, I'm going to have to go back to my doubles and CGIs and twins and clones and all that. The Kanye that is married to that lady Bianca, or whatever her last name is the clone. And the real one is Ye. So make the distinction when we have these conversations about who these people are to each other so we don't get it twisted And the one that was naked a few weeks ago, that was Kanye. The real one is Ye. That's why whenever somebody calls him Kanye, he says, no, I'm Ye. But he can't tell you he's the clone or the real one or what have you. I'm done.
Mm-hmm. Now, thank you for that piece, Brother Black. In our Black history, since we were on the topic of music, I want to stay on that topic. Something that you might not have known about Prince. Now, we know Prince is a great musician, songwriter, and performer. Second to none. But did y'all know he was into country music? Did y'all know the country songs and artists that he wrote? The arrangement that he did for various country artists? Well, I know what the hell I'm talking about. Anyway, we're going to hear a clip from Miss Reese Palmer. Reese Palmer is a legend in country music. When you think about the equation of comparison, let's say R&B or soul music to country, I will put Reese Palmer in the same category as an Aretha Franklin as far as her experience in country music is. All right, so we're going to hear from Reese Palmer, who I had the pleasure of meeting a couple of years ago and spending a lot of time with. But let's hear her history on Prince, and we'll come right back.
This is Reese Palmer, and I am back with your daily dose of intro to Black country music history. I'm tired. I want to take a quick nap before I have to go pick up my kids from school, so we're going to keep this quick. So, Prince is one of my favorite artists of all time. I had the pleasure of meeting and working with him early in my career, and he was just a genius. And I believe one of the most prolific and important artists of our time. You know him from his work. I don't even need to tell you. He's one name guy. You know Prince. But did you know that he had several interactions with country music throughout his career? So, you know, Prince is most famous for the music that he put out, but he was a writer that liked to write for other people. He just had so much creative output that he needed it to go places. So he wrote songs for the Bangles. He wrote songs for Kate Bush. He wrote songs for Sinead O'Connor. He wrote songs for Shaka Khan. He also wrote songs for country music. First fact, did you know that Purple Rain was originally supposed to be a country song? And he wanted Stevie Nicks to write it with him. Stevie Nicks, unfortunately, listened to the very long demo that he sent, and she got overwhelmed. And so she ended up not writing it with him. He finished it, and the rest is history. That song is now listed on one of the greatest songs of all times list by Rolling Stone. Second fact, Kenny Rogers reached out to Prince in 1986 through a mutual friend and asked if he had any music that he could put on an album. And Prince sent over a song called You Are My Love. And Kenny Rogers put it on his album, They Don't Make Them Like They Used To, in 1986. And the song is an album cut, and he wrote it under the name Joey Coco. Joey Coco also wrote and produced an album for Deborah Allen. And Deborah Allen was a country artist that is still a country artist to this day, but a big country artist in the 80s. I believe she was the prototype for Shania Twain, Fight Your Mama, Not Me. That's just my opinion. Deborah had success with a song called Baby I Lied. And shortly after the Grammy, she was nominated for a Grammy for that song. Prince reached out to her. They met, had dinner, and Prince offered to write and produce music for her. And that resulted in 1987's Telepathy. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Prince was a generous king, and he wrote music, all kinds of music. And I'm going to leave y'all with that, and I'm going to take a nap. And I will see y'all tomorrow.
Just a little info on the great Prince that you may not have known. Huh?
You learned a lot on this show.
There you go. So, and he wrote under the name Joey Coco. So, like I said, you might not be into it, but Prince knew what time it was. Prince knew what time was. Also, another R&B artist writes a lot for country artists, and that would be Candy Burris of Escape. She also writes a lot for country artists. Like I said, our flavor is so fly that everybody want to be a part of it, whether you agree or disagree. Now, another thing that I wanted to point out in history is I know you guys have heard of the Fugitive Slave Act and the Fugitive Slave Codes, but last week we were talking about kidnapping clubs. And so there was it was so bad and so rampant that there were laws enacted to try to protect free Black people from being kidnapped and sold into enslavement. Here, the overview, AI overview of Google says personal liberty laws were passed in the U.S. North between the 1800s and the Civil War to protect free Black people and escaped slaves. These laws were a response to the Fugitive Slave Acts of 1793 and 1850. How did these laws work? Prohibited state officials from helping return fugitive slaves. Didn't I tell y'all that state officials, police departments, and your Democratic Party were co-conspirators in these kidnapping clubs? Here's the proof. Gave fugitives the right to jury trial, punished illegal seizure and perjury against alleged fugitives, forbade state authorities from recognizing claims of fugitives. Why were these laws passed? To make legal system fairer, of which it never panned out, to protect the safety of freedmen and escaped slaves, to avoid more feuding between northern and southern states. How did these laws impact the Civil War? These laws were a major cause of the secession of the southern states in the American Civil War. So I just want you to know how bad it was, that this wasn't no fly by night. As a matter of fact, when we talk about the Underground Railroad, people like to talk about Harriet Tubman, but rarely do people talk about David Ruggles, right?
Right.
Now, David Ruggles, when you do research, he primarily was freeing people who were kidnapped. And that's a part of the story that you have to know. I would hope that each and every one of you will look into those personal liberty laws, especially as relates to Black women, Black men, freedmen, and escaped slaves, right, who ran into free territories and faced opposition. As Brother Taz said, back in the days, or even now, you have sundown towns, and you better be in a house at a particular time. But all of these things, as I mentioned last week, and all of these things came by way of these kidnapping clubs because they were so bad. What they would do is, and in that book that I mentioned to y'all last week, Stolen, we read out of it. In the introduction of Stolen, they describe how widespread it was. They describe some of the Black people who are involved. Like, for example, in the kidnapping of a 15-year-old boy, I can't remember his name. It was a while since I read that book. I need to get back into it. But a 15-year-old young man was looking for work because, again, we are right out of enslavement. And so Black people were discriminated against as far as gaining employment. So he comes across this well-dressed, light-skinned Black man who says he have a business and he's looking for some help. He ends up luring this young boy to a ship, and the boy was immediately put in chains and thrown into the bowels of the ship, then sold to Mississippi afterward. Now, I want you to understand that the kidnapping, or you had those Karens back then, or those Kens, if you didn't give up the goods to them, they will report you and have you kidnapped and sold into enslavement. People who started businesses who are in competition with a lot of white folks were also kidnapped and sold into slavery. I mentioned a black man who was elected to the Congress or the Senate back in the 1890s, Sam Keeble. And one of the things that, because he was a businessman, he was a barber, a well-known barber, and had his own business and a couple of other things. He was also a member of Freedmen's Bank, but and a proponent for immigration of black folks coming into the country. But his business was doing so well at one particular time that there was an attempted kidnapping on his life as a young boy. And if you read his, memoirs, you will find that out. But I just gave y'all just that bit of information because I want you to understand how widespread it was. That import of Africans into this country was, abolished here in the early 1800s. And so they had to have a mechanism to continue enslavement. And like I showed the graph last week, there was more enslaved folks than there were free folks. And in the states or cities where they were free, they were at risk of being kidnapped. So when you hear the saying, don't take candy from a stranger, right? Be home before dark. You can't go to such and such house without my permission. All of these things came by way of these kidnapping clubs, and some of that is pointed out in this book. But the thing about stories like David Ruggles, it get lost in the source with repetition of a told history or a distorted history. And that repetition has been Harriet Tubman for quite some time. But we have to look at the reverse Underground Railroad, which was more prevalent. And even her, it's mentioned here, some of the challenges that she faced in working with some people to help get those kidnapped children free. So, and Sister Brooke did mention last week that Stolen is available on audio book. So, next week, family, we're going to continue our conversation into Black history. We going across the water next week. We going across the water because something is very... Say that again, Brother Chad.
You going to Staten Island?
Yeah, we're going to Staten Island. We're going to Staten Island. I mean, we've been to the Bronx. We out here in Queens, the Sister Marcia. Why not come to Staten Island? We're going to Staten Island. One of the racist counties in this city.
It's been renamed Shaolin, by the way.
So, Sister Keisha, real quick, before we go any further.
Go ahead.
Wanted to know, what's your thoughts on the DOJ dropping charges against Eric Adams?
Uh-oh.
I wanted to get
when you dropped that bomb on us. When that happened?
The other, was it yesterday?
2 days ago.
Yeah, 2 days ago. Day before yesterday.
So
yeah.
Once Trump got elected, that was going to happen. I told y'all that about 2 months ago. He going to change that. Once he changed his immigration policy, that's when they started the investigations on him. It's good at snatching all the electronics.
But now they still coming after Kathy Holcomb though. They still coming after Kathy.
She's a hat. She's gonna stick with the hat program, bro.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah, go ahead, sis.
Here's the thing. Eric Adams is a true politician. He's a flip-flopper, he's a liar, and he's self-aggrandizing. Now, all the while, when he was in as mayor under Democratic leadership, if you will, of Joe Biden, he was called to the White House to keep his mouth closed, to fall in line. This is what he said. Not something I'm making up, but this is what he said. He was called to fall in line, toe the party line, and be a good Democrat. Eric played the game, even though his constituency told him not to. His constituency made it clear that what he was doing was wrong. He ignored them and chastised Black folks who said that he shouldn't do the things that he was doing. Why didn't he open his mouth and squeal like a pig then? Why didn't he say that then? He waited until Joe left, and then he came on Tucker Carlson of all platforms. Remember, Eric was formerly a Republican. Let's be clear. The bastard is a flip-flopper. I keep telling y'all that. He was a Republican. So he came like a little puppy dog to another white man. Massa, I was good. And they told me if I didn't behave, that they was going to incarcerate me. Massa, please take this. Please pardon me. And that's what happened. He's a nut rider. I told y'all that before. All of these black mayors, Mayor Brandon Johnson, the other Brandon in Baltimore, that heifer out there in Illinois, all of them, Karen Bass out there in California, all these black mayors and black people who are the monopoly in these cities are suffering. They're pieces of shit. Tell them I said it. Tell Eric Adams I said it. Tell his chick I said it. It's disgusting. And I blame y'all because y'all vote his ass in. But now, did y'all know a couple of days ago, there was a meeting held at Junior's restaurant with Andrew Cuomo and black preachers?
Oh.
Didn't he try that with Governor Patterson? And all them black preachers showed their greedy chops up downtown Brooklyn the other day. It was on page 6 of the New York Post.
What preachers was down there?
They didn't give the list of names, but I can tell you pretty much who they were.
Your favorite pastor was in the house.
Al Sharpton?
Al Sharpton. He was there for Patterson. He was on the side of Cuomo.
Pork chops.
Who called the meeting at Sylvia's restaurant to get rid of Patterson on behalf of Cuomo. Anybody who still mentions the name Al Sharpton, go to the nearest wall and ram your head through it. Because you just stupid as all hell. It's problematic. That's why we got to free the black vote. Sister Brooks said A.R. Bernard, Kevin McCall. What's that other one? That one that looked like he don't bathe. I forget his name. He out of Brownsville. It'll come to me. But all of them. And now, when Eric got in trouble, he know the black masses ain't with him. That's why he drudge up them old civil rights, not activists, activists, like Hazel Dukes and the rest of them that he came. And Herbert Daughtry. Every time I see him, I want to vomit. Like this is problematic. So we got to stay away from that. Don't fall into the trick bag. You know, Al Sharpton talking about boycott Costco for 40 days. Then what, like Taz said? Then what? All of y'all black girls, all your hair care products.
Oh, no, hold up. We supposed to boycott Target. We supposed to boycott Target and go to Costco's.
Oh, right.
We want us to go to Costco's, which is crazy. Did we talk about it last week on how the black businesses lose money?
Oh yeah,
boycotting Target. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's listen. It's no winning game. It's no winning game. I'm telling y'all that. The research is there. The information is there. Black people going, and then you have all these black business owners. You know, just be quiet. Sometimes it's just best to just be quiet. Well, if you don't shop, then we lose our business. That's not the fight. It's no one man or woman above the crew.
Right.
That's just a given. And we got to stop that. Even with black business, it's no one man or woman above the crew. Once you adapt that philosophy, you'll be all right. But for our sisters out there, and your black hair care products, and you know, matter of fact, I'm gonna say that for next week. But we're gonna roll up out of here because it's a lot to discuss. Sister Farnessa says it's 4 quarters in a year. If they really wanted to affect their bottom line, they need to do more than 12 months. Absolutely. Didn't in forget what town it was. They boycotted for us, what, 6 years?
Yeah.
6 years they boycotted.
Didn't Medgar Evers' brother spearhead that?
Mississippi, one of the counties in Mississippi.
Thank you, Sister Marcia. Thank you.
6 years. We're not invested. And that was a perfect time to do it. Like The thing with boycott is you have to be able to divest yourself from something else or into somewhere else. Costco's is truly, it's still the same players. You would have to go so small, and we're not prepared to go so small. We need our eggs. Where are we going to get our eggs from? Where are we going to get our milk from? How much cashews can you blend? You know, it's just a question of how tactical are we with this whole idea of boycott. When previous generations could do that, we were small enough to do that. Now we're so big. We got to go here. We got to go there. We can't. Every restaurant that is around us right now has to go into a big box store to buy stuff. You don't have a slaughterhouse near you. They shutting down slaughterhouses, you know. Sister Keisha and I were talking about the chickens that they're shutting down. They're shutting down all the things that would make this prosperous for us. And we're not even prepared to go, oh, I got to go into that. Oh, it smells. Oh my God, the smell of a slaughterhouse. How could you stand it? Get your ass in there and get your food and shut up.
But I agree with you, sis. And I think also what it is we bought into the imagery. Back in the days, we really knew who the Yurugu were. Right now, they got us lulled to sleep. Like Malcolm said, you know, these foxy liberals, they act like they are friends and we let our guards down and they just misdirect us every step of the way. So we don't even understand the long-term ramifications of boycotting, how effective it could be to really see some change. But that's why Thorough Black Talk is here. We help give y'all political guidance. You know, we have an intelligent audience. Shout out to everybody who's in the audience and shout out to everybody on the playback. Because the fact of the matter is, we're not just talking rhetoric. We're giving you concrete solutions. We opened the show with showing you how to go to vote.org or vote.gov, whichever site you may be comfortable with, to just go change your affiliate party. And again, non-affiliate dependent, not independent party. We want to divorce these parties and we want to make real demands in our community. But we can't do that as a single individual. So you have to come back here every Thursday at 8 o'clock and really listen to us spit this game. Of course, we're talking about pop culture and how it affects Black people in our psyche. That's why we're bigging up Kendrick Lamar. Because for some folks, they may not even know anything about the resistance. You may not even know anything about African history or Black history or even what's going on in Africa right now. We just here to educate our folks so we can make the right decisions. The reason why we jammed up because we got the wrong information. You get the wrong information, you make the wrong choice. You get the right information, chances are you make the right choice. So the right choice is to tune in every Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the Brooklyn Bridge. But I digress. Sister Keisha.
Brother Tag going in. Sister Pat, bingo point. Bingo point. Now he can get matching funds since the charges were dropped. You see the game they play with y'all? You see the game they play with y'all? Meanwhile, all of them people under his administration that got charges and all this old kind of stuff, he's mute on it. He done used y'all too, like the shills you are. I'm telling you, boy, I know a charlatan when I see one. I know a hustler. Listen, I watched many a years. 34th Street, people going in the game, 3 called Monty. I see hundreds and hundreds of people lose their money like an idiot. And you are losing your very lives by continuing to vote this duopoly. That is a fact. So, family, we've come to the end of our program. Our final thoughts and comments. Brother Black.
Yes, ma'am and sirs. Great show, y'all. Thank y'all for the education. I learned a lot today. I appreciate y'all. And it's always a Black Tactics Thursday. And Sister Mama don't say that no more, so I got a shout out. She don't like me now, right? Look at her laughing. Listen, real talk, y'all. Real talk. We didn't even talk about the DOGE and how they exposed Hillary Clinton and, Chelsea Clinton and all that dough she got from the USAID. We didn't mention the fact that Malcolm was saying in the 60s, before he passed away, so over 60 years ago, that was his number one enemy, and it's still in existence, and it just got shut down. So for all you Trump haters, I don't look at him as loving him as a man or as a politician. I look at him as a strategist. So if you want to get at me and knock me for that, then that's your business. Political strategy means political education and knowing how to place people on a chessboard to utilize them to their maximum potential. Okay? So forget about all how I feel about him and so on and so forth. They're being exposed, and the people who are being exposed, I've said it on the show plenty of times, are being put in the room because most of them are actually gone already. Gitmo, Shanghai, whatever you want to call it, they're out of here. Okay? And we've seen the watershed moment that the president was at, whether it was a clone, CGI double, whatever the case may be, from Kendrick Lamar. So this show was very instrumental in how we're going to move forward in the future. Be confident, show your balls, or do like Diddy said, and, grab your, if you love hip hop, I ain't going to say the word, just Keisha going to kick my butt if I say it, and let's just get free. Like their press said, even though they wasn't from New York, they represented well. It was all about hip hop. But remember, they also said it's bigger than hip hop. So let's get it. Y'all can see me on melaninstitute.blogspot.com. I know we over time right now, so I'm not going to take too long. Whoever's next, Sister Keisha, get it. See you on the bridge next week. One love. Peace.
Squabble up, squabble up, squabble up. Come on. The game is ready to be played. You saw what Game Boy, whatever you're gonna play. Get your X's and O's. Say that again.
PlayStation, yes.
Okay, thank you.
We over time, y'all. Cut it out.
So just be ready to fight. Know your position on the game board. Know who you're going to be, where you're going to be at. And don't listen to all these boycotts, because they have no plan behind it. Until you come up with a really good strategic plan or where I'm going, and don't tell me you're going to go online, you're going to go to this website, and then find out 2 months later that, it was a woo-woo.
Urugu.
Thank you. That person running that website in the beginning. So just be mindful of how we're going to move next. You're playing your game, play strategically, play well. With all of that said, may time flourish for you. And if it may not, make it flourish. Squabble up. Let's go, Brother Chad.
All right, Sister Marcia. Gotta give you applause. Well, family, this has been a dope show. It's always a great time with the family. Definitely appreciate everybody who tuned in and rocked out with us. Definitely appreciate the conversation, all the love. Don't forget to check me out, me and my brother C Gutter, every Sunday, 2 p.m. from 2 to 3 on the OG Wisdom podcast, every Sunday on YouTube. Don't forget to check out the BK William Mackey Study Group also on YouTube. So, family, hope you were inspired by something you learned tonight. Your turn to go out and inspire others. So, y'all stay up, stay blessed, stay true. And remember, no matter how hard things may seem right now, it's always better days ahead. Sister Keisha.
My brothers and my sisters already laid the wind.
Can't leave me out.
I ain't saying nothing, dip to the side, just dip.
It is the old school Brooklyn dip.
There you go. That's it. But when President Donald Trump, during his inauguration, a lot of the media pundits were saying, his wife Melania Trump brought back class by wearing, the hat that she wore. I'm like, oh please. Oh, please.
Hey, we're gonna have to start a sitcom. We're gonna keep this up over here. You got a lot of tracks and everything.
It's not your turn, Black. Good, Sister Keisha.
You gonna learn today. You gonna learn. As my mama used to say, you gonna learn today. But family, always a pleasure rocking out with y'all. Don't let these people try to steal your shine. You know, I've been rocking the fedoras. I've been on it. You late, lady. You late.
All right.
So anyway, and my flavors is more than hers. I bet you that. But anyway, we definitely appreciate y'all rocking out with us each and every week right here on the Brooklyn Bridge. Tell somebody to tell somebody. It goes down. And don't forget, Sunday at 2 p.m. live on YouTube, the OG Wisdom Podcast. Please follow Sister Marcia, Africans on the Rise, on Instagram. And never, ever forget our brother Blacksmith, Melanin Blogspot, melanininstitute.blogspot.com. And we'll catch y'all next week right here on the Brooklyn Bridge. Good night, family.
On the Brooklyn Bridge tonight, voices strong, knowledge tight, thorough black talk in the air, changing minds, changing flair. From Brother Tad to Sister K, warriors got things to say. Sister Marcy brings the heat, Brother Blacksmith keeps the beat. Revolutionary waves, they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral light. Thursday nights the world will see Black Power Media on a spree. Facebook, YouTube all aligned, breaking free from every bind. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves, they fly underneath the open sky. Every word's a call to fight. Tune in, feel the ancestral light. Social talk and politics, every voice breaks through the matrix. Commentary raw and true, for the many, not the few. Revolutionary waves,